discussion on chord theory. You know what a chord is, right? Like when you're in the choir and then you have the soprano, alto, and the tenor. Everybody's got to stay on their own note. Okay, that's all designed around chords. A chord means several notes played at the same time. Okay, now, you know what a scale is, right? In order to understand chords, you have to understand what a scale is. And everybody is pretty much familiar with the sound of a scale. Okay, and so you're walking up from one tone to the same tone, which is an octave higher. So this happens to be the C scale, starting on C and walking up to C. So how many notes are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then the last note is a C. Now, if you're going to build a chord, then let's basically build chords based on C chords. Because you can build chords off from any note. But in order to understand what's going on, let's just stick with the C chord. Okay. So in order to build a C chord, first of all, you're going to need the root note, which is C, which is the note that would determine what key you're in if you're playing the song. See? Now you know that's your favorite song. Anyway, that song is in the key of C, and if I was to change the scale, then if I follow the same format, then I'm playing the song according to a different scale. So let's just stick with the C scale, because if you can understand this one, then of course that'll help you understand the others. Now, the chord has to have the root, which we just talked about, identifies the keys, and then there's the third degree. Okay? Okay? Now, those are the two defining notes of a chord. Okay? And that's that third degree that makes the chord a major chord. Now, if the third degree is lowered to the next key, a half step lower, it's going to sound like that, and that's your minor sound. Okay? Major is here, daytime, smiling, minor, serious sound. Now, let's add the fifth degree. Now, the fifth degree is sometimes omitted, but it helps to add body to the chord, and the chord is going to be still major or minor based on that third degree. And sometimes the fifth degree is altered, sometimes it's raised, and it gives you the augmented sound. Kind of sounds like floating away. Okay, let's go back to the regular 5, and sometimes it's lowered. Okay, so that's another flavor. And then if you also lower the third degree while that's lowered, then that gives you the diminished chord. The diminished chord has a lowered third and a lowered fifth degree. So let's return back to the happy major. Okay, and what else can we have? 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's add that to the 1, 3, 5. Okay, so now we have an added flavor. 7 is considered to be the first of the, color tones. And sometimes the 7 is going to be flatted as well, which is going to sound like that. Kind of gives you that bluesy flavor. Let's return back to the regular 7. Again, with this chord, things can still be altered. In most cases, when you have a C major 7 chord, the 7 is usually not going to be at the top like that. It's just not in most cases, not the most melodic choice to make. Okay, so if I'm playing, okay, so the 7 is there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, but it's not at the top. The 3 is at the top. So just to kind of give you an idea of what happens. So that should give you a general understanding of all the major and the minor stuff. Okay, so let's go back and review. We're using every other note to build the basic major chord. You have the first, third, and fifth note of the scale. So if you're a visual learner, then you really need to try to be a learner that can hear things, because music is about listening. Okay, and I have some students that are visual learners, and I still try and work them in this area. All the visual stuff, it's good, but don't rely on that. Train your ear. Okay, and so that's basically the approach that I'm trying to take right now. More of an ear training approach, which is going to eventually, as your ear gets trained, it's going to make you a more solid musician than just seeing everything by a visual. Okay, all right, let me review what I've recorded here so that next time I can pick it up from the same place. And if you're going to sign up for lessons, then this is one of the videos that I'll reference if you are interested in gospel or R&B, any of that. The jazz theory is still going to follow this stuff. Now, if you're doing classical, you're still going to need to know something about chords, because when you're reading the music, the chords are there. They're there, and the better you recognize them, the easier it's going to be to read the music.